Okay, let's do 32 on page 6. Okay, all right. So the line passes through 2 points, and what does the line intersect at x-axis and y-axis? Okay, so let's practice. There are a lot of these problems on the quiz that you have to get an equation from the 2 points. So the 2 points are given, and have to get an equation from those 2 points. So the first thing you do, you have to get a slope. Okay, it doesn't matter you call this the first one and the second one, or this is first one and the second one. I show you why. Okay, so the slope is, as long as you do it in the same order. So x goes in the denominator, right? So you go 4 minus minus 2 and 3 minus minus 1, which is 4 plus 2, that's 6, and then 3 plus 1, that's 4, that's 2/3, right? What's the other way? M is, I start from here. Minus 2, oh sorry, minus 2 goes in the denominator. Minus 2 minus 4, right? And the numerator is minus 1 minus 3. You have to go always on the, if you start with this one, then you start with this one. If you start with this one, then you start with this one, right? As long as you go in the same order, you get the same thing. This is going to get minus 6, and this is minus 4, which is also 2/3. So you get the same slope. So it doesn't matter which one you start with. Okay, so that's a slope. So that means the equation of this line is going to be y equal 2/3 x plus b, right? Because this is a slope. We don't know what the b is. But for this line to be able to go through these 2 points, you don't need to use both. You just use the easier one. And this one is negative, this one is positive. So I'm going to use this one. Okay? So that means that for this line to go through this point, and this is y and this is x, when y is 3, x have to be 4, right? Otherwise this line is not going to go through this point. When y is 3, x have to be 4. So you are looking for b that will make this happen. Okay, so you adjust with b, because as is, it's not going to be the same. This is a 6/3, so that's a 2. 2 and 3 is not the same. That's where the b comes in, to make sure that this line goes through this point, right? So that means 3 equal 6/3 plus b, so that's a 2, and then that's a plus, go the other side, it's gonna be 1, negative 1, so the b equal 1, right? So the equation is now y is 2/3 x plus 1. That's the equation that goes through these 2 points. Okay, that's like a basic questions you have to be able to solve. Now, you have to find where they intersect with x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so here's x-axis, intersect with, let's start with y-axis. If we intercept with y-axis, this is plus 1 and 2/3, so you go 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up to, line will look like this, right? And intercept at 1, okay? Because when this means, look, the x is 0, right? Y-intercept means when x is 0. So you put 0 in here, this time is going to be 0, so y have to be 1. Okay, so y-axis is, when x is 0, y is going to be 1. Okay, and then x-axis means where does this is going to intercept with x-axis. That means if this is where it intercept, that means y have to be 0, right? Y is 0 right here, right? So you said this equals 0. So 0 equal 2/3 x plus 1, right? So then the 2/3 x have to be minus 1, right? That means x have to be minus 1 times 3/2, which is minus 3/2. So x-axis, this is going to intersect at negative 3/2 and 0. Okay, so this is like a 1.5, negative 1.5 and 0. Okay, now let's do 33. A line through this and then this, you're looking for a. You have to find the value of a. Has a positive slope that makes 60-degree angle measured counterclockwise with its positive x-axis. Find the value of a. Okay, so this is the positive x right here, right? Positive x, positive y, negative x, negative y. Okay, so counterclockwise is this way, right? The hands of clock going this way, that's clockwise. Counterclockwise this way. So it's going to be line that is parallel to this line. I'm saying this is 60 degree. Okay, counterclockwise 60 degree. That's the line. So the line that goes through these 2 points have to be parallel to this, okay? And then it's a 3, 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. It's gonna go through this point, okay? And then it's gonna go through a 60 degree angle to this one, okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When x is 5, this x is 5 line is going to intersect a point where y value is a, okay? And you have to find this value. That's what this problem is, okay? So if this is 60 degree, then this have to be 60 degree. These lines are parallel, right? And if I drew another line here at 1, right? This was 3, 1, you remember? 3, 1. This is 1. This also have to be 60 degree, right? This is a parallel, right? So, and then this point right here, this one is a 5a, right? So this is 5. And this is 1. So this point have to be 5, 1, right? This is 90 degrees. It's the vertical lines, parallel to the y-axis and parallel to the x-axis, okay? So this is 3, 1, and this is 5, 1. So this distance have to be 2, right? And because this is 60 degree, this is the short leg, because this is a 30 degree, opposite of 30 degree is short leg. So the opposite of the 60 degree is a long leg, which is √3 times the short leg. So this have to be 2√3, right? So this distance right here, is 2√3. And this distance right here should be 1, because this point is 5, 1. So a have to be 2√3 plus 1. Now let's do 34, okay? So these two values of k such that these points are collinear. Collinear means that the slope are equal and have to go through the same point, okay? Because if the slopes are the same, they have to be parallel, but they don't intersect. If these two lines that have same slope and therefore they are parallel have to go through the same point, the line have to be collinear, okay? So you find the slope of this and then slope of these 2 points and then set them equal and solve for k, okay? So let's start with this one. So let's call it slope 1 is -3. No, so -3 goes in the denominator because it's x. -3 minus 0. Right? I started with this, so I have to start with this. 4 minus k, right? And slope 2, between this and this, I start with k minus 0 and then 10 minus k. I started with this one to this one. Start with this one and this one. It doesn't matter. You can go from here to here. Like I showed you earlier, you get the same slope. So this one is 4 minus k minus 3, and this one is k over 10 minus k. Okay? These are the two slopes. And the k is the same number. It's supposed to be the same number right here. Otherwise, these 2 points have to be the same. Otherwise, it's not gonna, that would be, you won't be able to solve because then you have 2 variables. Anyway, okay, so you set 4 minus k over minus 3 equal 10 minus k over k. You want to make these slope equal so that they are collinear. And the common point is this. This is the common point between 2 lines to make the line collinear. Okay? So since these are 2 fractions with equal connected to each other, you can cross multiply. Not to get confused with 4 minus k over minus 3 times 10 minus k over k. This is not equal. This is multiplying, right? When you're multiplying 2 fractions, you are multiplying the numerator and denominator. You are not cross multiplying. Don't get confused. I know that some people are getting fuzzy about this. You are cross multiplying when the 2 fractions of single term each. Both sides have to be the single term, 1 fraction and 1 fraction. You can cross multiply and they are still equal. Not when they are multiplying, then you multiply the denominator, multiply the numerator. Okay? So this one you can cross multiply, so you have k, 4 minus k, have to equal minus 3 times 10 minus k. Right? So that means 4k 4k minus k squared have to equal minus 30 plus 3k. And you have to factor this, okay? So you want to put everything on one side and the other side equals 0. So you have negative k squared plus 4k, and then there's a 3k here, so minus 3k, and then this is minus 30, so plus 30 equals 0. And you don't want the negative, and then we're going to combine this. So let's just one step at a time. Minus k squared plus k plus 30 equals 0, right? You want to get rid of this negative. So you multiply the whole thing by negative. You get the k squared minus k minus 30 equals 0. Okay? So this is negative 6 and 5, right? So k minus 6, k plus 5 equals 0. Multiplying, you get negative 30. Adding, you get negative 1. Okay? That means k is 6 or negative 5. Okay? And that would be, it says find two values here. It's kind of giving you, it says find two values, just giving away that it's a factoring problem. But so this is k equal negative 6, no, sorry, positive 6 and negative 5.